Okay. All right, it's 17:02, so we can begin. All right, first I would like to welcome everybody into this training session. So this is Mastering Digital Inclusion, and it's making accessible content in Canva and Blackboard. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Kristina Hansen. I am an instructional designer for the Office of Distance Learning. Nicole and I are located in room F12, F210. So for if you ever need to get a hold of us or come in for any kind of Blackboard related or accessibility related issues, we are here to help. So the session that we're working on today is talking about accessibility in education. So think of it this way. How many of you, and you can do the virtual, chat or hand raise. How many of you have worked with accessibility tools, whether it's Blackboard Alley, the Canva PDF editor, or uh, all right, Brian, you have. All right, and okay, okay. So some of you have definitely had worked with it, so that's good. Yeah, Nancy, you've also worked. All right. So you have used accessibility tools in some way, in one way or another. So which is good. It's good to have that foundation, before we begin the session. So for whether you're an expert and you just want to see new things, or whether you are just beginning to grasp the accessibility initiative, this is the session for you, especially if you're working in Blackboard with within your course. So we talk about accessibility in education in particular. So let's start with so picture, you're in a hallway in a door, and this door leads to this immense plethora of knowledge, opportunity, just a better future in general. And some of you are able to open it, right away. But for some people, it does not swing as easily open. It has obstacles. It has uh, complicated locks, or maybe has a steep staircase, or makes everything a lot less reachable than the previous crowd. And when you think about it, it's not just like this kind of funny comparison or an abstract thought. This is basically the reality of a lot uh, of students, and in higher ed as a whole, you know, uh, because the door in this case is the curriculum, the course content. It could be the classroom, the technology. These barriers that it represents are what we in education call the lack of accessibility. So one stride that we've taken is to make things accessible from the start. So let's begin with a little overview. So digital accessibility, roughly defined as the practice of designing and creating content, and even services, so it can be used by all people regardless of their abilities. And what we are trying to do is essentially make accessibility the default instead of an accommodation. Whereas if you're, instead of waiting until you have a student that needs an accommodation, whether it's visual contrast or they need a screen reader, in order to read your PowerPoints. We want to make that default. So it can be used by all people from day one instead of using it as an accommodative tool. So why should we have what is the benefit? A lot of I've had some instructors say, but I have a small class and none of the students are need any of these accommodations. So what is why do I have to go out of my way to do this? It can be kind of, and we can understand where it can be cumbersome to kind of, sift through a bunch of 30-page PDFs and then tag them. We can see where it could be a painstaking task. However, that's why we're here. You can always come see us and we'll show you how to do it in the most efficient way possible. So digital accessibility, what it is, it does expand the reach. So when you're making your course, even if it's outside of your institution, let's say, you made an online course, people are paying to enroll in it, that course will have a lot more reach if your content is accessible. And this comes to the improved end user experience. So having that accessible design, whether it's layout, navigation, contrast, all of these things that you take into account, this will benefit everybody interacting with it. Not just those with disabilities, not just as an accommodative tactic. It's just there as the default. With the current federal mandate, that's more the legal and ethical compliance means, if whether you're a school or a business, you can meet these legal requirements and, kind of show that, you're taking proactive steps to ensure, an equitable environment for whether it's for your employees or your students, or in any workplace. And also search engine optimization, depending on the content that you work with. Maybe you need the content to be the first page of the Google search, and this is where engine optimization comes in. Let's say you have an online course, or you have an online store. Let's take the online store. You have products, you want people to find your shop. If you have alt text on your images, it actually improves your search engine optimization. So it's the little details like that, that can make a huge difference. So today, this is our main objectives that we're trying to tackle today. First, we're gonna explore these accessibility principles and apply them specifically using Blackboard Alley and Canva. Canva also has a free PDF edit tool, which I will get into in a little bit. It has if you don't have Acrobat, I know because it's not free, and if you don't want to bother going through all that, Canva does have a free PDF editor that you can just upload your stuff and it'll help clean it up, and you can run an accessibility check on it. So, and you don't have to have Canva Pro or anything. You can just have the free account and just have that link to upload your PDFs. So we're also going to identify what is the best way for exporting your Canva designs or just PDFs in general, properly tagged, accessible PDF documents. And we're going to go into some settings that can basically be the make or break of accessibility. And then we're going to go into Blackboard Alley, which is it's built into all the Blackboard courses. If you see that A icon that's on the upper right hand corner of your course, and when you hover over it, it says download an alternative formats, that is Blackboard Alley. And Blackboard Alley is a built-in accessibility tool that scans your entire course continuously with anything, any changes you make, any content you upload, anything you make in the text editor. It constantly scans and identifies issues, and it even tells you how to correct them. And last but not least, understand why this initiative of digital accessibility is important, and what why it's effectively a net positive, creating this inclusive and equitable educational environment for everyone. Okay, so how many of you are familiar with Canva? Uh, we could just hand raise. All right, Dr. Chan. Okay. Okay. So some of you are. Canva is a very powerful, comprehensive, kind of like an all-in-one tool. For you can do text, you can do visual content, you can do presentations, you can even create a website, you can even schedule your social media posts on it. It has something for educators, it has something for creators, no, but like I think a wide range of industries and professions can definitely use it for their benefit. So you can go into any design and save it as a PDF. And what it is, given that these visual components that it has, it also creates a layered document. And we're going to go into what are the best practices of that. So as with any building and any building document from scratch, sorry, there's going to be multiple layers. And what that means is that it needs the screen reader to read it in a cohesive, logical order. And we're going to talk about what is the most efficient way to achieve that. So, all right. So Blackboard Alley kind of functions almost as an after the fact, kind of like a quality check. And it is integrated in Blackboard, uh, and it employs basically what is an accessibility gauge, which is essentially kind of like a meter that indicates how accessible your content is currently. It uses a color coded system, and on many of those things that it flags, it even tells you how to fix them. And a lot of them you can even fix them in line. So if it says like, hey, this thing does not have a title, you can give it a title. Okay. So as we kind of previously mentioned, it needs to be considered from step one. And here's another analogy. Like you're building a house, you're focusing on your stoop or your entryway, and you build the entryway up to specs, up to code, and then in the end you go, you know what? I think I'm going to put in a ramp. Well, you should have thought of that from the beginning because it would have been a much easier project. So now once your project potentially has descended into chaos, uh, it would have behooved you to incorporate it from the beginning to ensure that, it kind of blends into the overall design. And that way, you don't have to, go back to square one and then, kind of move stuff around or take out some things and, put new ones back in. It just kind of adds more to the project. I mean, let's look at it this way. When now we have to take the existing documents and make them accessible, but if we made them accessible from the start, it would take a lot less time. So the core principles of accessibility, uh, you're looking at what it usually, and basically what this is what accessibility checkers tend to scan for. The three things is heading structure, color contrast, and alt text. So heading structure is in Blackboard. It is title, heading one, title, header, subheader, and paragraph. That is the hierarchy. If you notice, if you go into your course and run the accessibility checker, you will notice, I'm sure, something that says this uh, this page does not follow a logical order. So what that means is that Blackboard will yell at you if you write something without something designated as a title. So just writing out title text meant like the text meant to be a title in and just increasing the font is not going to help. You want to do is designate that as a title, because font size doesn't really do much for the screen reader. It's just going to read it as what is designated. So if you just had it as a body text or paragraph, and if you just increase the font, that's not enough. You have to designate it as a title. Another thing, contrast. So high contrast, like black on white, white on black. Another acceptable one is like, dark gray even. uh the one that's easier on the eyes, I think it's what is it, navy blue and like pale yellow. That's been seen as being like the easiest on the eyes. But anything between, like a dark color and a light color. So basically anything that creates a high contrast. So right now, I use this template actually on purpose, just to kind of demonstrate the contrast, the design. And I also picked a template that used a lot of so if you look at, these are purely decorative, the lines in between. And I use that because when we're going to demonstrate an accessibility check, we're gonna go into how to do that with design components. But as you can see, the background, it looks like we're staring at a light bulb if your eyes are sensitive like mine. Uh, White backgrounds typically feels like I'm staring at a light bulb, but it's clear. The text is clear. So speaking of text, alt text to images. So the alt text icon, you right click, you do alt text, and all it takes is just a brief descriptive image. Now if it's an icon like this, the difference between alt text on an image and a decorative image is these are purely decorative, so we can just put these as decorative. They're just there as just icons. However, if let's say in a science book, if you have an image that has the distance between planets in the solar system, you want to give that alt text that says an image demonstrating the relative distance among the planets. So if there's anything there to kind of supplement the instruction, uh, we that's when you need to provide like actual text. Otherwise, uh, you can just make it decorative. Any questions so far? Okay. So, okay. So, we talked about PDFs and how how can we save them with the multiple layers and all that fun stuff. So the flattened PDF, how many of you have, I'm sure when you're saving something as a PDF, or if you're working in Acrobat or have worked in Canva, you have seen this option, flattened PDF. And what this means is all pages. So let's say you have images, you have headings, you have uh, like a divider line, you have tables. So checking the flatten all basically compresses this into a single static image layer. And even if it has text, it's going to save it as an image. So a flat image PDF is going to be viewed as just pixels, which means the screen reader is not going to recognize it as text. You cannot do Control F and search within the document. You cannot copy and paste. So if you're using a screen reader for accessibility's sake, do not flatten the PDF because it's just going to be blank. So on the other side, this is what we want. We want the right side of the PDF. So the hierarchy when tagging, semantic structures, like the settings, paragraphs, you can tag it as like a bullet list, uh, you know, this establishes, uh, yes, Rich?
I actually have a question about flattened PDFs.
Sure.
I was actually wondering, I don't know, because I was just a couple minutes late, so I don't know if you covered it earlier, but is there a way to like unflatten PDFs? So if it was flattened, would I be like, I could go back and make it accessible?
Like unflattening PDFs.
Yeah. Does that
Do you
exist?
have Acrobat?
I do.
Okay. So Acrobat does have an unflatten thing,
Okay.
and usually it should be a feature called flatten markups. So if you go to like uh see, I don't have Acrobat open, but I think it's like the document settings, and then there should be a feature called flatten markups, and then you select the option to unflatten it,
Okay.
and that should help fix it. So if you have full editing capabilities in Acrobat, you should be able to unflatten.
Okay. Great. Yeah. I'm at home right now, so but I'll check in my office next time. But that
Yeah.
really helps.
But,
Appreciate that.
oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Good question though, because I'm sure a lot of the folks in the session had a similar question. Because I know it is very common to just flatten the PDF because it's compressed, it's easier, it's light, smaller file, easier to share, but uh, the thing is accessibility does become an issue. So thanks for your question. So the reading order. Reading order is a feature you can click on in Acrobat. And what is it? You establish a sequence. So the title will be read first, then a slight pause, then the next up, which is the header, then then the paragraph, and it's gonna go that way. Tables, for example, you need to have headers on the tables, and you can do all that in Acrobat. So just to make sure that there's a coherent delivery, because if you don't have that, let's say if you have just all paragraphs, if you tag something, let's say as a subheader, the paragraph as a header and the title as just and left as paragraph, it's going to start reading the paragraph, the one designated a header, which is like the body paragraph first, and then read the title. So it's very important to kind of designate this in terms of the reading hierarchy. Also, the tags in accessibility, if you have worked with the reading order before, so here, actually, 'cause yeah, I'm sharing my screen, so I'm going to open up, uh, let's see, ah, we'll open this. Okay. So we're going to accessibility and reading order. So, let's see. All right. Can everybody see the, all right. Can everybody see the, here, I'm going to do this. Okay. All right. So in Acrobat, if you're working, so, you're going to go to accessibility and like your reading order, and you're going to go to your, like where you designate the headings. That's when you'll be able to do that. It's not it's not letting me open up the Acrobat one, but I'm going to do a live demo here in a sec. So, all right. So let's explore Canva accessibility checks. It's pretty streamlined. You will go to, once you're in the full Canva interface, you're going to go to File and then Accessibility and check Design. So mainly what it looks for, Canva looks for contrast, typography. It will yell at you if your font is under 12 point, and alt text. I did put a QR code here. What that is, if you scan it right now, you will get the full user step-by-step instructions. You're going to get the full instructions on how to perform these accessibility checks. So if you scan the QR code, we'll give you a chance to do that, and then we're going to go. All right, and Laura will send you this a copy of this presentation. So if you didn't get if you want to go back to something, you can always just email me. I can send it to you. Or I know Laura's really good about sending attendees the any of the presentation stuff. So okay, so hands-on accessibility. So let's do this. Okay. So this is just like a random document I created. And so let's see, for the sake of there. Okay, so let's say everybody can see this. Okay.
Yes.
So here we are. We're going to do an accessibility check. Change one more thing just for the. Okay. Because I wanted to flag some things just so I can demonstrate. Okay, so we got a contrast issue, and it is the text I had just highlighted. I had just changed to gray. So the light gray is not sufficient contrast. That's what it's telling me. So I would just have to change it. This because everything is a paragraph. So the way you change things, you click on this, you go to text styles, and you just click the title. So now it's going to tell you no issues remaining. So once you get the green check marks on all of the three criteria, then you're good to go. Any questions so far? Okay. So I'm going to go back to, all right. So I'm gonna also show you to add the alt text. So here's this image, and we're gonna go to alt text, and what I have is just logo. So if I took that out, it's gonna flag it for alt text for the issues. And it's actually, you can actually do it like inline here. So it just tells you, or you can mark it as decorative, because like I said, this is just an icon. So we can actually mark that as decorative because it doesn't really do much outside of just being a placeholder. It's like it doesn't inform or it doesn't communicate any data. So, okay. So, all right. So any questions on Canva? And you can run this with you don't need Canva Pro to run the accessibility check. So and also for the PDF editor, as I mentioned. So Blackboard Alley. I know when I first introduced it, I did say something about a accessibility gauge. So this is what you will get. If I'm sure some of you have noticed when you upload a document, you get one of these little things like next to it. Sometimes it's like very tiny. But if you've uploaded a syllabus, you most likely have received an accessibility meter. So basically, what it is, after it measures it, it releases this score, and then what you do is you would click on the little icon, and it'll take you to the interface that. So here. So here we are on the CTE one. So let's say you're like, okay, I want to see how accessible my course is. You do accessibility report, and it's 99% accessible. Our benchmark is 95. So as long as you're 95 or higher, you can do it. So here we go. We'll do an image with contrast issues. So you do the all issues, contrast issues. So what it's asking you to do is what I usually do. So here's what it gives us. What I usually do with this is I screenshot it. I screenshot it and then I adjust the contrast, and then I re-upload it, and it gives me the perfect 100% score. So one of the funniest things though about Blackboard loves to tag things as as having contrast issues, but it's clearly their screenshot. So it's like, the screenshot is from Blackboard, but it's tagging it as not having enough contrast. So this is because the default font color, if you notice, it's not like a true black. It's more of like a graphite, like a dark gray. And I think sometimes that the system is set up like to be so sensitive, it kind of throws it off. So okay, so let's see. All right. Okay. So what does your accessibility gauge mean? If you got a low one, um, it says severe. So usually what these accessibility issues are, there's a lot of images without alt text, or you have used the just make the text bigger for the title instead of designating it as a title. Uh, all those things will bring it down. Now, it doesn't mean a low accessibility score does not mean that there's necessarily more work to be done. It goes by the percentage of content relative to the document. So if it's only a paragraph that is perfectly accessible, and if there's like two pictures that don't have alt text, it's going to give you the low accessibility score just because you don't have alt text on the two pictures, despite it just being a perfectly readable document otherwise. So if you just provided the alt text or the decorative designation, it would bump it up to 100. This one is some of the stuff might be tagged. Maybe one of the pictures is tagged, but not all of them. This is typically if this is typically like pre-accessibility for any Word document that is initially uploaded. This is the most common one I've seen. It's usually like the old syllabus template, or if you're using like an older syllabus template where there's no alt text on like the Triton logo or things of that nature. That's where it would be it would bump it up to a medium. But just providing like the alt text and providing the designated headings will put it here in the green area. High, it's like you might have some contrast issues, some maybe one or two headings. And this is the score. This is the aspirational score. But anything that's 95 or higher is considered acceptable. Like that is the threshold that we're currently working with. So, to kind of go in a little bit further, these are some of the most common issues. About 80% of what I've seen is these four. So, PDF does not have a title. So what that is in Acrobat, when you do the accessibility check, the menu will have when you have the left side of like the breakdown, it will say like title. Uh, Title is missing. So you just right click on it, you say fix, and then a window pops up. You uncheck the box of the title so you can write in it, and then you provide a title, and that's it. Yeah, they're very they are very finicky when it comes to providing a title for the PDF, because what it is, even and this is different from the title that you have it like within your PDF, like the first line of text. This is different than that. This is the document itself. So Typically it's there like when a screen reader reads it, it first reads like the title of the document and then goes to read the title. So image does not have a description. We played around with alt text a little bit. So so an image description, providing it's there to basically, as the screen reader is reading it, it's to kind of seamlessly integrate the image uh, into the content and context as well, because it allows students who otherwise would have trouble viewing the image to be able to perceive that content through other mediums. So contrast. A lot of times, typically with those that are colorblind, uh, they require sufficient contrast in order to be able to read. And it's, whether you're red-green colorblind, red, or just the grayscale one. It's all of those. If you look at one of those image examples of types of color blindness, you will see that some of them, uh, if they don't have sufficient contrast, it's not. A lot of the stuff just kind of blends in. So I remember when I was a grad assistant for an instructor back in grad school, and she was very festive about she would make her remember Blackboard Learn, where you can customize the left side of the menu. So she would make them like orange and black for Halloween, which was fine, but then she did red and green, and she got like an email and a phone call from the accessibility coordinator saying like this is the worst thing you could ever do for your students, because it was December and she wanted to make it like a holiday, so she made it red and green, and uh you know she was informed that she cannot do that. So kind of be mindful of that. Make sure you have sufficient contrast. So, logical order regarding reading stuff. So, make sure you have if you have a heading and then you have something designated as a title, Blackboard will flag it, saying that it does not follow a logical reading order. So you would just have to flip the designations, and then it'll be fine. So for example, sequential descending order. Heading 1, like heading 2 should never go before heading 1 within the same like reading context. So as you go, you would do, heading 1, heading 2, all the way to heading 6. I think yeah, word goes all the way down to heading 6 as the lowest. So this is, and you can scan the QR code to get the full handout for the step-by-steps. So this is we kind of went over this a few minutes ago. You would how to go about getting the accessibility report for your course and see where where the issues are, and how to fix them, because it does tell you how to fix them. So this is it's, I mean, it's just a few steps, but if you scan the QR code on the upper right corner, you will get the full step-by-step instructions. If you're having trouble, and if you have trouble with like the link or anything, let me know. All right. So I'll give you a couple more seconds to kind of get, if you want to grab the QR code from there. And like I said, Laura will send this also. Okay, so download alternative formats. So what this is I brushed up on this a little bit earlier, just as an introduction to where you might have interacted with the alley. And this is in all basically in all courses, you almost always see this no matter what page you interact with. It it allows you to download them in alternative formats. So depending on the type of document, uh, for example, if you have a text, depending on how it's formatted, you can download it as an MP3 and listen to it. And this is where it's going to test like those screen reader abilities. So it is it's kind of neat that you can, take the stuff in the LMS. And now, it may not work it may not be compatible with all forms of all files and all these options, but it is pretty intuitive. So, any questions on alternative formats? Okay. All right. So, the main points covered here. We have to create content, uh make it accessible as the first step and not an afterthought. Kind of like the house building. It'll save us so much more time if you just take accessibility into account from the start. And and the thing is, doing it once you get the hang of it, it's pretty seamless. So it's like you can do it as you go. You add the picture and it's just right click alt text. It's as you go, you can do it. And like the benefit of it greatly outweighs just a couple minutes you need to spend. Because the reason, we built these courses, the reason why we put this content out there is because we want people to interact with them. We want people to read them, but we also want all people to have a chance to interact with them if they so choose. So, and here I'm actually gonna go to the PDF editor. So it's called canva.com. It's canva.com/PDF dash editor. If you did Canva PDF editor, if you put it in Google, it's going to be the first one that it's going to give you. So you upload your PDF here. Everybody can see it. So if you can upload your PDF here. And you can, and what it's going to do, it's going to show you like your document and where it is. You can remove extra layers, uh, especially when it comes to tables. There's been PDFs that before I had full access to Acrobat, there's PDFs, I made all of them accessible through here. And when you upload them, a lot of them had tables. It was a lot of science documents that faculty member was updating. So I was helping her get those squared away. So when you upload it first, if you have tables, they're gonna have extra layers and stuff. So and those are typically from older versions of Adobe. And if you put them in here, you can kind of break those apart and take out the extra layer, and it just leaves you with the cells and the table data. So it's much easier to read. It's much cleaner. I've been able to get PDFs up to 100% almost like every time by using this. So, and it's free. You don't need to have Canva Pro. Okay, so back to this. And Blackboard Alley, it is an amazing tool. I mean, I've been cleaning up some of our courses, doing the accessibility issues. I, and I will show you an extra step that I've been getting a lot of questions about. So, and one thing to remember, it benefits everybody. Having things accessible benefits everyone, not just not just those who need it. It's everybody. It benefits you because you have more people interacting with your content. It benefits the even the users that don't need it, because even with the different formats, with the different devices that we can of which we can interact with content, it makes having it more accessible, makes it easier to view through a mobile screen, or because there's less of those like clunky components that might take away from that. So it really does benefit everybody. Okay, so what I said with an extra step. So I'm gonna find one that is it's not an image, but okay. So for ultra documents, okay, there we go. We found one. Okay, so let's say I mean, this one's 100, but it's not about fixing it. It's about searching for it. So when you say ultra document, that means it was created in the rich text editor in Ultra. So, that is your like create content and putting it right in the text editor without uploading anything or any of that stuff. It's just using the text editor. And people are like, they go, well, it says I got to do this is what I need to fix, but uh they're like, it's going to take me forever to search for that through the course. So you take account of the name. So okay, so try it, create a safe assignment. So what we do to search for content, we're going to go here to the main page, and we will start writing it. And here is all of our try it things. And what was our thing? Create a safe assignment. So this is where it wants us to go. So that's how you find stuff when it's an ultra document. That's how you would find it. So you go to accessibility report, takes you to the colorful dashboard. And if it says ultra document here, that's how you find it. You just take note of the title, and then you just type it in, and it will locate it for you. I know that is a very common question that I got once we began rolling this out. So I wanted to address that. I wanted to make sure you had that information. So so that's how you can strongly leverage like every the alley tool in Blackboard in order to get everything squared away with your course. These are additional resources. So here's a link to the Canva PDF editor. Um, this is a little more information on the accessibility checker. This is Triton's page on accessibility resources that we have. This, so, This one, accessibility and Canva, and this one are basically the website, like from from the source. And this is the PDF editor in Canva, so you can access it directly through here. All right. All right. Yeah, we are almost at time. So I want to thank you, everybody. Again, my name is Kristina Hansen. I want to thank you for attending today's session. And one more thing, we do have upcoming open lab hours. We with this accessibility that we're rolling out, we're setting aside time during usually midweek, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so that way faculty that teach Tuesdays and Thursdays and Mondays and Wednesdays have more flexibility when to stop by. It's usually in the afternoons that we have it, and these are the designated, so yesterday we had one. Our next one that we'll have is November 4th. And what it is, this is just open lab where you can come in and work on your stuff. And, I'm on standby to answer any questions, or we can work step by step together. And this is like, it's a walk-in, it's a free-for-all. So if you need anything outside of these, in my email, you can always email me, or book an appointment. That way you have that time that's designated just for you, and you don't have to worry, like, if an additional faculty walks in, and then you kind of don't have that undivided attention depending on the issue at hand. So our upcoming ones, our full schedule is, if you scan the QR here again, our full schedule, we have it available. It goes all the way up to April 2026. So that way, and yeah, you can come in anytime during these hours, and it's that. Thank you, Tony. Uh, So yeah, you can come in during these hours, and I'll answer any questions that you may have. You know, thank you, everybody. Yeah. So, all right. Any questions before we go? Yeah. Thanks, Dana. I'm glad you like that we have these designated, and feel free to stop by. We are in F210, and you can always reach me. This is my extension, and whether it's a walk-in or an appointment, you know where we are. We're always here to help. So thank you, everybody. And I will make sure to have this presentation sent out to you in the next day. And yep, thanks, Natalia. All right. I think, yeah, if there's no other questions, we can all go. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Bye.